5 signs he sees you as a high value woman. All right, let's hop right in. So number 1 is you value slash love yourself. I was going on a walk with 2 of my female friends the other day, and I don't know how the topic came up, but it was like, do you love yourself? And my one female friend, I believe she's in her 50s, she goes like, I don't know if I want to answer. Like, I feel like it's going to come off wrong what my answer is. I'm like, there is no wrong answer. I'm just curious. And she goes, yes, like, it took me a while, but I do love myself. I'm like, perfect. Like, that's great. I'm so happy that you love yourself. And she goes, do you love yourself? I go, yes, I do love myself. And she's like, well, doesn't that sound like kind of snotty or like pretentious? I'm like, what? No. Like, in all honesty, if you didn't love yourself, like if a woman didn't love herself, I couldn't date her. Like, how am I supposed to date someone who doesn't love herself, value herself? Like, I can't give her my love if she doesn't love herself. Does that make sense? Like, do you understand that you need to love yourself and value yourself so that a guy then can show you love? Put that in the comments if that makes sense. All right, so let's go on to number 2. So 5 signs he sees you as a high value woman is your words and your actions match. Like, life happens, so I get sometimes this isn't always going to happen. But if you make plans to have a phone call or you make plans to have a date, you got to show up. And if something happens, fine. In the dating world, you've got, especially early on and later, you've got to like really be careful with your words when these things happen and say, I am terribly sorry. I cannot make whenever we decided. You tell them before it happens, and then you offer other times to solve the problem. It's kind of like in corporate America. If you've got a problem and you got to go tell your boss, he usually likes it when you already found the solution. Be like, hey, here's the problem. Here's how we're going to fix it. Or I already fixed it. This is what we did. It's the same thing in the dating world. Like, your man wants to feel like he's important, just like you want to feel special and important as well. And if you're just like, oh, you know what? Can't do that anymore. And you didn't give him another option, he's going to be like, is this girl serious? Like, does she care about me? Is she serious about her love life? Because, you know, frankly, I'm really serious about my love life and I'm trying to find my partner. So I don't have time for someone who's not making this a priority because this is very important to me. Does that make sense? All right, let's move on to number 3. A woman that is high value takes responsibility. Nothing is less sexy than someone who passes the buck. And I'm going to tell you an example of how I used to do this. And maybe you've heard the story of how I started in this career path. But I was dating this woman, and she, and I was head over heels for her. And I thought I was going to marry her. And she started cheating on me with one of my very close friends. And for years, the story I told was she was the worst person ever and she cheated on me. That was me passing the buck. And no one wants that. You know, for people that play sports, that's like, you know, when you watch athletes say, oh, he didn't pass me the ball, or oh, my teammate stunk. No, that's not how it goes down. Watch a LeBron James interview. I could have been better. I did something wrong. And I'm going to tell you, from this relationship, the reason she cheated is because I didn't understand women at that time. I grew up in a male-dominated household, no sister. I did not understand women. And I blew that relationship, and she needed to go outside because I was not providing the proper support, the proper communication, the proper love, the sympathy, the empathy. It didn't exist for me at that time, and I had to go on a journey to learn all that stuff. All right? So you got to take responsibility. That's number 3 for a high-value woman. Number 4 is being a good communicator. And a good communicator, what that entails is being able to listen to someone, especially during tough times, or even if they have a point of view that's different than yours. It's not talk over them, it's genuinely hear them and respect their opinion. Even if it's different, you're allowed to agree to disagree, but you need to give them that you are genuinely listening and giving them a chance. And then on the negative side is do not be a manipulator. I remember I had this close female friend of mine many years ago, and we were good friends. We talked every day, and eventually that friendship turned into something more. And during that period, she introduced me to her father for a business deal. And this was a way past life. This was many years ago. I was working in IT management consulting sales. She introduced me to her father, who was an executive at a Fortune 500 finance company, and he was quite high up. And I was just, I was pretty young then. I get a meeting in his big corner office in New York City, downtown, and I took this wildly seriously, and I was ultra prepared. And it went swimmingly well, and he wanted to make an intro to the folks I needed, some managing directors and some other folks to get the ball rolling for the consulting, the management consulting operation we wanted to bring in for them. Anyway, it goes great. He's helping with the deal, and things are moving forward. A few weeks later, we got into some argument. Can't remember what it was about, but her text to me was, "You better fix this, or you better come talk to me, or I'm taking my father away. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to ruin the deal." And obviously you can probably guess how I reacted to that. I was upset and frustrated that, somehow this item got attached to that item. And, I'm not to blameless. Like, I was part of the argument, but still, like, not great, right? I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think she should have put those two together in terms of the argument? I would love your opinion on that. But the core of that, number 4, is being a good communicator. And I think a lot of us know what that looks like. Number 5 is being transparent and vulnerable. One of my favorite quotes about vulnerability, and I'm not sure who said this, is you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, right? So if you decide to be vulnerable, and we always talk about like not dumping your luggage or your baggage, off on someone, but there is some vulnerability to doing it, and you can't say the wrong thing if the person is really into you. So if you're a high value woman, you can be vulnerable, and the guy can accept it. But as a high value woman, you probably go, "Hey, here's the baggage. Here's what happened to me. Here's what I learned." Because a high value woman isn't a victim, right? She had something happen, and now she's found a way to move forward, to move higher, to rise above. Because a man doesn't want a woman that's like, just stays like, "This happened to me." Like, that'd be like when that woman cheated on me, and then forever I never learned how to talk to women, and then moving forward I just blamed all women are cheaters. That would have been a cop-out. That would have been totally wrong. That would have been a wuss move on my part, right? Instead, I read a ton of books, and I realized, whoa, I stink at this. I need to get better. And now in my future relationships, I understand women better and can do a better job and be a better boyfriend and be more supportive, be more empathetic. Does that all make sense? Okay, so that's our 5. Let's reiterate. Value yourself, love yourself, words match actions, taking responsibility for things you do wrong, being a good communicator, being transparent and vulnerable. So those are your 5 of being a high value woman. And when you have these 5 things, guys are going to see it. Guys are going to respect you. Guys are going to treat you well. And you're going to have the pick of the litter, right? Get whoever you want when you're like that. You get to choose. You're the queen. Guys are going to be coming running towards you. And you get to, nope, not that one, not that one, not that one. Ooh, I'll take that one. That's how it's going to be for you when you've worked all this stuff out. Because I see it every day with my clients who have done the work. All of a sudden, it's just like, whoop, those guys out of the way. I'll take the good one over there. And that's what I want for all of you. All right, I'll put 2 more videos so you can keep watching up there and keep learning and growing and being that high-value woman that you are and being the queen. If this was helpful, subscribe. I'm going to put out way more content as we keep going. So make sure you get notified if this is helpful. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.